Hey everybody, what's going down? So, I decided to take a little time for myself. So I'm finally going to get to the video, or the start of the videos that I was planning on doing for weeks now, which is the build of the Unicorn Gundam 3 Phenex. This is Destroy Mode Narrative version, SD Cross Silhouette. Also, I wanted to show you guys some of the tools that I use when I'm doing this kind of thing. So I just set up the tray on the workbench now that it's up and ready. So these things here are basically like your cutters. They make far smaller ones, and eventually I'm going to get a better pair. These are just the ones that I had lying around. But these are great for clipping the little tabs off of things when you're removing things if one of them's being stubborn. Most of the time, you can get them off with just your fingers, though, and it's not a big deal. So, locking pliers, I tend not to really use, this bigger, fatter style of pliers right here, because these tend to be a little aggressive on these kind of parts. So, unless you have, like, a real feather touch, it's very touchy with what you're going and doing. Sorry for the shakiness in the camera right now because I don't have it on the tripod. I'm going to pop it on there in a sec, but I want to show this off first. So these pliers right here, needle nose, typical, everyday, whatever, with the cutter at the bottom. The cutter's convenient for some of the angles that you got to get to on the tray. This may seem like an odd one, but I found that nail cutters, everyday ones, they work real well on things that have, I'll use the scissors for example, but like if they're like on a tray and they're circular like this, it makes it easier to cut them without having the burr on it or anything like that. Now, tweezers, ow, stabbed myself, but these are just whatever everyday ones I had, but these can be critical for putting certain small pieces, tabs into place. Scissors, these are more for just cutting the bag than anything. I don't really try not to use these because it doesn't really cleanly cut like you want it to, because it ends up like mashing things instead, and that's definitely not what you want with this. Last but not least, file. So this is just one I have on my multi-tool here, but this is good for like when you get a burr on something on the tab and you want to just, file it down so it's flat so that things fit evenly. So these are over here to the side. I already removed these out of the tray because for whatever reason they got damaged in either transit over from, Japan or Taiwan. I don't exactly know 100%, so forgive me if I'm wrong on that, which part of Asia they come out of, but I love these things since I was a kid. But so you'll get these things too. This is like a little sticker sheet thing. This is how you put all the eyeballs and stuff on. This actually came from a different kit. This is fiber optic rigging. I don't really know which one I'm going to put on. I don't know which one of my Gundams I'm going to put this on yet, but this isn't like an actual official one. This came from a different toy and stuff, but I figure, maybe there might be some way for me to strap it onto the body of the one, and it'd be really cool to have like the fiber optics on it. This one's a green pack, obviously. Everything I have is green when it comes to customization. But I'm going to toss that back there for now. But they do make an LED lighting kit just for your stock and standard Gundams too that you can attach to and make them look really cool. So, from what I looked at in the guide, oops, this is the back side. That is not the correct area. And if you guys aren't familiar with how these things work or the charts work, I did a video in my Gundam building series about how the sprue trays work and how they're labeled and things like that. So I'm gonna move this real quick, get my tray up and even and clean instead, and just so you guys see what you're looking at, this is what you're dealing with here. These tiny little parts, man. I wish this lighting wasn't so washed out. Okay, there we go. That's a little bit better. Just had to adjust. But basically, these are the kind of parts you'll be getting out of the bag. I know I didn't do the unboxing thing like I should have with it, but it is what it is. It had a damaged part that I needed to repair, so kind of had to fix the helmet because, you know, I don't know how it happened, not blaming it on anybody, but somehow this side piece where that white is on his helmet, I had to super glue that back together because it got damaged in transit. So here we go, and I'll figure this out as we go. I'm going to set the trays behind me until I know better what I'm working with here. So it looks like these gray ones, that is probably what they refer to as the Gundam core. And there's a couple of different body types. I kind of went through it in my other video too, if you wanted to actually go back and look at that one first. But we're going to tear these bad boys up and figure out where everything goes. So, get the manual in a better position of what I'm doing here. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is, ow. First step, I don't really like even doing that, but body is first one, so I need an A15, an A3, and an an A13 and an A14. So now I gotta figure out which tray is the A. I'm assuming it's the tray that I hadn't opened. Let me see here. I need to see if this is the A tray, like I think it is. I can't see past any of the wrapping. Hold on, I'm just gonna stick this guy in the tripod now. Strap in the tripod. Okay, that's much better. That massively frees up my hands for me to do this. Okay, there we go. So that's a better angle. Now, so open this guy up. I gotta figure out which tray it is real quick. Sorry about that, guys. Hold on. I'm assuming it's the gray tray. It's usually the gray tray when you build the body, or at least the base of the body. And then usually those other pieces are added on later. So give me just half a second here to figure out which tray is which. Pull out this, there's a gold one on top. Gotta get the gold one out. Oops. And these are always like very tightly packed, so they kind of have a tendency of coming out at once. So be careful when you have shiny gold ones like I do, and they want to slide out at once. But okay, so what I'm seeing here is, yes, I was right. The A tray, the A1 that I need is basically the Gundam core of the body. So we're going to lay this guy here, and then we're going to set the other sprue trays behind me. And let's see what we're working here. Okay, so A15, A13, and A14 are what we need. So we will get the A15 and the A14 out and the A13 out, and I will show you what I mean here. So when you open your trays like this is what you get. So A1, this indicates what tray. This little guy here, hard to see, is what correlates to the black numbers here that are in the circle. Not the A1 next to it, but the one in the circle when you're looking at it. So when you get these like this, you want to just kind of get your fingers on it and wiggle it until it snaps. And usually they come off really, really easy, like this. So now we have this one, and that was A14, so we need the A15 that is right next to it, which I'm guessing is the front of the Gundam itself. I'm not sure. Sometimes you would think one angle with these, and then they're not. And then I need the A13, which, if I'm reading this correctly here, it slips into the A14, and then the A15 would connect into that. So, this is a tough one. Okay, see, this is what I was saying. Okay, sometimes you just gotta get the right angle. Sometimes it's all about where you put the pressure on the tray. I know I was complaining about things with pressure earlier, but that's like a totally different situation compared to a model that is millimeters small. So if I'm reading this properly, the A14 has pins on the backside where this one does not. Okay, yeah, so this is the A14. We're going to take the A13 and we're going to pop it in and then pop the core part of the body together, essentially using this step here, and this goes into this. So one thing you got to be very mindful of when you're building these is the fact that you have to really pay attention to which way things are facing on the picture. So it's illustrated on this that this part goes kind of backwards like this. So what you're going to want to do is, there's this little slot down in here, and you want to drop them down into this guy here. So now the A13 is attached to the A14, and now the A14 needs to attach to the A15, which is this guy here. So now that that is in place, these should snap together like a glove. Ah, see? Boom. No problem. So this is like the start of the body, right here. Now, the next section says A16 with a B21 attaching to the front of the A15 that was just installed on the A14. So usually, okay, yeah, so A16 is like a little ball. If you're looking at this illustration here, so that goes on the front, and then the B21 goes on the front. So I gotta find the B tray after I snap this 6A1 out of its socket. So this goes like quite easily onto this little stem, and now you have somewhere for the head. Let me find the B tray real quick. I am guessing that's a gold tray. Oh, and it's a good thing I looked, because there was another piece that was busted off and damaged that I didn't notice. Great. B tray, B tray. Okay, here we go. It's the big long one. So the B21, let me figure it out real quick. The numbers are always everywhere. And oh, they have multiple trays. Okay, B21, 15, 20, 21. Ah, so it's this one right here, this guy. So I'm going to carefully wiggle this out. Oh, this one's being stubborn. Okay, there it goes. The first tab had to pop. Okay. And now, there. So, this is what I'm working with here. I guess this attaches to the front. So I'm going to pick this guy up. Now let's see. The core square part is the front that this part attaches to. So, I take this, and it sits like this. Boom. Okay, next step. Now we're all good. Next part. Okay, so now it's reading the C17 piece goes over the whole frontal top part of the frame. Okay, so C tray is not this one. C tray is it C1 or C2? Okay, it's C1. That's C3. C2. Aha. C1. Okay. So this is my shiny gold parts, or it looks like the start of it. So C1 number 7. 7. Oh, this is what the tray looks like, by the way. Okay, it's this one right here. Now this is supposed to go up and over the top of the frame on this guy. So I gotta figure out how this okay, I see how it attaches. So it shows in the diagram that it pushes down into the blue frontal square. So these are the two you have. It's gonna go lay down and then snap into place. Okay, so that is basically what is holding my core together. Okay, so now I need C113 and C114, and I am right here attaching these two body pieces together. Go back to the C1 tray here. Okay, 13 and 14 are these big guys. Okay, so if I get a hold of these, give them a... These ones might be tougher. These ones might give me a little issue coming off. Oh yeah, these are really thick. Okay, hold on. Okay, gotta slide my cutters in here. And angles are very important because these are angled a certain direction. So you really want to line it up on the inside so it's flush. Like that when you cut these. At least the ones that are tough. Because you definitely don't want to mess up the one piece on your Gundam that is going to make it misaligned. Now, okay, so that was part C113. Okay, now I can show you guys this example because this frustrates me when things are harder than what I want them to be. But who doesn't get annoyed by stuff like that? So this is what I was talking about when you cut your pieces and you end up getting a burr. So you'll end up with this nub, this little thing on the end if you don't quite cut it right. So these nail clippers tend to be real good at getting at weird angles like this and then just cutting it cleanly so you don't even have to burr it down. So I find that doing that, see, no more burrs, makes it far easier than having to file it down progressively, successively, because that gets really tedious when you're doing it part by part like this. Okay, now let's see if I can do a better job with this second one. Maybe I won't slaughter it quite as bad and have the horrible burrs like that on this one. So, ooh, that one's loose. Yeah, this one got banged in transit. Not cool considering it's a, you know, a gold one. Oh, and this one's loose too. Well, that made things a lot easier. There's the back piece. Sometimes I wish I had an easy button, but I don't. Okay, now C113 attaches to the front, C114 attaches to the back. So the square edge goes to the front, whereas the flat goes to the back. So this here is C114. So I'm guessing, let me see what it says on the diagram. Look at the diagram, down, where does this go? Oh, okay, that lines up. So I think it goes like this? No. Okay, I'm wrong. I must be wrong. That or I'm not pushing hard enough, and sometimes I get worried because I feel like I'm gonna break them. Oh, okay. Edged corner. Okay, it's like this. Right? Even I get confused. But then again, I have to, like, really look at things sometimes. Okay. Got you. Okay, yeah, now I see. Okay. So, it's, yeah, it wasn't like I thought. It goes the other way. Like this. Okay. That was far easier than I made it look. Now, this one the C-113 attaches to the front with that piece. Okay, that side goes downward, so the square goes like this. And then, aha! Okay. Now I'm almost, okay, got really close to the end of the core. 3 more steps. Or the body. I mean, it's the same thing, realistically. B5 has to go on the bottom. Okay, so B5 on the bottom. What is B5? So, oh, it's this one right here, by the way. B5. This guy. Oh, that's great. Something snapped that I didn't need to snap off the tray yet. Oh, I didn't realize I could actually just apparently separate these. Well, that makes life getting this part out far easier. Okay, so B15, from what I'm seeing here, it's got like a square bottom, and it's got like a hole, like a circular scoop. I'm assuming that's for like a pivot. Yeah, it must be. So that the hips can sway. I'm assuming that part has to turn. So, from what it's showing on the diagram, okay, yeah. So it goes on the bottom like this. And it connects. And I'm assuming there's probably like another ball piece that goes in here to make some kind of swing joint so you can turn and articulate it. Okay, I need B18 and a one piece from C2, number 30, and one piece from C3. Okay, so they're mirrored on the tray, and then I need the B18 to attach it to. Okay, hold on. B18 is... Which one's B18? Oh, it's this big fat boy. This big blue one. This is cool. Ooh, I always love attaching these. Ugh. Give you guys a better shot of what's going on with the piece. Okay. Now, the C2 and C3 30 pieces attached to it. Somehow, okay, up in the corner, I'm assuming... Oh, and the little squares. Oh, I see, the hooks hook in. Okay, got you. So I gotta find these C2, C3, 30 parts. Hold on, give me just a sec. Okay, so they're like these long posts. These things. That one came out actually really easy. I'm assuming this maybe attaches the wings or something later, but I haven't looked that far in the manual to know, but there's like this little hook. And I really wish my camera would stop being stupid. I swear there's a hook there. But, so, this was off the C2. So, the C2 tray goes, okay, so yes, they go with the hook sides in and they go up of the out of the corner, but this is particularly the left side. Okay. Yeah, so it slides into the pack like that. You just put the hook so it's facing forward and it slides in no problem. So now I just gotta find the one on the C3 tray. Oh, they printed this one upside down. Okay. Same thing, except this time I'll show it because I was trying to work it out in my own head how it worked exactly, but yeah, these little hook things, you can kind of see it right there. Kind of. I wish I had a better camera, but I don't. Sorry. They go, boom, into this piece. And then it shows that just attaching to the back, and I'm done. So, okay, there's the 2 squares, and they go vertically. And the other part of the pack goes downward. Okay, yeah, that makes perfect sense. Okay. Ka-chow. Okay. Nice. Well, I think it looks pretty good. Well, it's a good start at least. Sweet. Give it a good once over so we can look at it here. Ooh, look at all the shiny gold parts. Oh, I can't wait until it's finally built. Alright guys, well, sorry for the massive delay in getting any of this done, but looking pretty killer so far. And I will talk to you guys later.